Okay, I thought I'd just make a short video about the GoPro mount I have for my raft. It's actually worked on my kayak as well. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. I'm using 1/2-inch PVC, and I've actually made this thing I call the Trident. So I can actually mount multiple cameras on it at a time. Basically, I mount mine on the top, and if I've got friends that have cameras, I've got places for them to mount up if they want. And I actually, most of the parts are pretty cheap, but this, I went ahead and got a pipe mount for this top part. That's the most expensive piece. I think I paid around 30 bucks for that. It works really well. It's pretty versatile. I like it because I can use the clip, and then if I want to, I can pull the camera off and mount it to my helmet cam. Let's get into the base, because I think that's maybe where most of the benefit of this video is going to be. This is basically just a cheap plastic bowl that I bought from Walmart, and I've got a couple of rods, threaded rods with the J hook on the bottom. I'm going to point the camera in the hole here so you can actually see how it hooks up to my D-ring. That's it, basically. That's the secret right there. These both come in at an angle, and they tie into the D-ring, and then you just take some wing nuts, put a washer on, wing nut, and you can just lock it down. And the trick about this thing is that the bowl is very flexible, so it kind of flexes. It's not 100%. Sometimes it bounces around, but you can kind of mount it and sort of get it where you want it, and generally it'll hold. I basically have not been through anything more than my class 4 whitewater on this, but it's worked out really well. Normally I keep it out on the front of my boat, but sometimes if I have a light crew, I usually guide from the right back, and so I'll put this on the back left and shoot from there. So one other thing I'll show you, I'll take this apart. While I'm doing that, I'll also let you know that I've got a rope going around the base here as just a safety precaution. I didn't actually lose this particular mount before, but I did lose an earlier version of this that I was working on in the river one time, and if I'd had a way to keep it tied down, then it would have just fell off the side of the boat, hung off the side of the boat. So basically I've got this rope that I've just wrapped around, tied a knot in it, and then I clip it to a D-ring inside. And that's just a little extra precaution. That way you're less likely to hopefully lose your entire mount in case you never can tell what you're going to run into. Sometimes out there on the river, you can scrape up on a rock on the outside or hit some tree branches. So I'll pull this off and show you kind of what's going on underneath. You can tell it's actually on pretty good with just the bolts. I'll put this on pause. Okay, it took me a second to get those off, but you can see how this is how the mounting starts. Basically, you put these J bolts like this, and then you run them through the hole that you drilled out in this bowl. I've got a hole on the top here that I can mount this rod there if I want, but most of the time it's positioned really well. It comes out the side. I use this basically this T fitting here as a way to tighten this thing down, and this is what I've got underneath, basically to mount the rod. Big washer and a T there, and then this whole thing sort of comes off and makes it easy to mount. I usually don't break it down too often, but that's just a little bit more about how to get this thing mounted to the bowl. So anyway, it works great. Like a lot cheaper than buying what GoPro has to offer, and so play around with it, experiment with it, have fun with it. I've had a ton of people on the river ask me what the heck is that and where can they get one, and so that's why I'm making a video, so that if you got any ideas, this might give you a good start to how to mount it. So get out there and have fun and get some great footage.